For years, I avoided first-person shooters. I didn't have a PC growing up, so I missed the Doom boat, and when they started coming to consoles, I was hesitant to try them. I bought my first Xbox when Metal Gear 2 was released, and a friend brought over his brother's copy of Halo the day that I got it, and I've been playing first-person shooters ever since. The Halo series will always hold a special place in my heart for that reason, and the first game, Halo Combat Evolved, will always, I think, be my favorite. I played that game in awe. I remember the second level where I looked down at the grass and it looked like I was looking at a photograph. I remember these big, sprawling worlds looking miles ahead of me and realizing that I'd be there in a few minutes. It was legitimately awe-inspiring. And while games like Halo are par for the course these days, I will never forget the game that showed me the future. Halo Reach is kind of a weird Halo game. I mean, it's very clearly a Halo game, but it removes sort of the biggest story part of Halo, which is Master Chief, right? Well, it turned out not to be such a big deal because it was still very much a Halo game. And there was a lot of stuff in Reach that hadn't been done before. And that pretty much made up for not having Master Chief to play as. It's also pretty special because it is Bungie's last Halo game, and it feels like Bungie's last Halo game, honestly. It looks better than anything that had come out before. It plays as well as or better than anything that had come out before. And the story is, well, I guess a little melancholy. Like, it feels like they were tying up a lot of loose ends, and that's appropriate because they were. I get the sense that Halo 3 ODST is sort of a divisive game. There are people who really don't like it because it's not a full game. In fact, it was never marketed as a full game. It was just something that Bungie did sort of in between bigger Halo projects. And even though ODST grew from its initial scope, it's still not a full-fledged numbered Halo game. But honest to God, I think that's part of what makes it so fun. It is very much Halo and very different than any other Halo game. Like, for example, there's a hub world that you go around and you find story beats inside of. That's fun. There's also an amazing Easter egg in there for Destiny that Bungie hid. But it is a Halo game, even if in diminished scope, and that's actually really cool. It also holds the distinction of being the Halo game that introduced Firefight, which is Halo's Horde mode. So while maybe the story wasn't as big as you might expect, although it was still pretty cool because there was a lot of Firefly cast in there, there was a bunch of replay value in things like Firefight. Plus, Nathan Fillion. If Halo 1, or Halo Combat Evolved, as it's now sort of properly known, sort of set up this series, and Halo 2, well, evolved it in a slightly weird way by having two main characters to play as, Halo 3 felt like the game where Bungie really understood Halo. It wasn't just starting out, it wasn't trying to do something super creative or twist the formula, but Halo 3 was the game that really got everything right. And that's the enduring part of Halo 3 to me. When I think back to my time playing Halo 3, I think about how good the game looks, I think about how good the game plays, I think about all the little things that Bungie added to the game, like the ability to score points in the single-player campaign. I think about the four-player campaign, which my friends and I played through, I think more than once. Halo 3, in my mind, is sort of the culmination of the original Halo / Master Chief storyline. Halo 4 deserves a lot of respect for doing something that seemed kind of impossible. It is 343 Industries' first Halo game, and they were taking over after Bungie, who had not only created Halo, but really made first-person shooters viable on consoles. So Bungie works on Halo for a decade, and then they peace out, and Microsoft, who owns Halo, assembles a team to make the next Halo game. And they don't just make another Halo game, they make a numbered Halo game. The idea being that they are going to create the absolute next step and continue what Bungie started. That is a tall order, figuring out how the heck to do that. And the remarkable thing really is that 343 did it. It is every bit a Halo game. It does not feel like some strange other company made it. Master Chief feels like Master Chief. Cortana feels like Cortana. It builds on what had come before, and it does so credibly. It also, to its credit, introduces something brand new, which is a whole other type of enemy and a whole other side of the conflict with the Prometheans. And I can't mention Halo 4 without mentioning just how amazing it looks. This tends to happen at the end of console generations. We saw this like at the end of the PlayStation 2 era with the God of War games, where people have been working on the hardware for so long that they really understand it, and they can push it farther than anybody else has in the years prior. I don't know what magic 343 came up with for the Xbox 360, but Halo 4 is astoundingly good looking. The foundation is good. The presentation is every bit as good.